Alright guys, today I'm going to explain some advanced tuning techniques to tune with a DSP. I won't be showing you how to use your DSP. I'll be explaining how to use your ears to do the things you need to do and to find the things you need to find to using your DSP, tune your vehicle to make it sound phenomenal. And be warned, there's going to be high-pitched sounds. If you're wearing headphones, you're going to want to turn that volume down whenever this all starts up. Be prepared, because this is the real meat of tuning a vehicle, and that involves a tone generator. Enjoy. Alright, so what you want to do is start by playing 1000 hertz on your head unit and get your time alignment app pulled up on your DSP, and you'll find that you're probably going to have your center's call going to be off to one side, probably closer to over here somewhere. And then you're going to adjust your time alignment, and as you adjust it, you're going to hear the sound move from one side to the other. You're going to hear the center of that sound move from one side to the other. And what you want is, this is an arbitrary number, but I think 1000 hertz is a pretty good starting point. What you want is that 1000 hertz to move right over here in this general area right here. Now when you've got that 1000 hertz time aligned right in front of you, then open up the secondary part of your tone generator, which is this thing, and it does the sine wave sweep. You set it, I set mine for 100 hertz to a 2000 hertz at a 10-second sweep. And then what you're going to do is run this sweep. Oh, prepare for noise, by the way. Hear how it fades out right in there? Then it comes in loud. So watching this, pay attention to the numbers. About 500 hertz. Alright, so you notice about around 500 hertz-ish, there's a slight taper off in the sound. Then it comes back on. So there's a little bit of a weak spot at 500 hertz. Keep that in mind. So once we've gotten that kind of established, then we're going to use the regular generator, which is here. Oh, excuse me, that is not it. That is a stupid ad. Give me a second. Okay, we're going to use the regular generator, and we're going to do a very slow bump up. So what I want to do is, I'm going to have my EQ opened up, and I'm going to go like so, and I'm going to listen to where that sound is. Right now that sound is coming from over here to the right. So I'll open up my EQ, create a 100 hertz band to EQ it, and then I will drop the, I will reduce the 100 hertz on the passenger side, and that'll move that 100 hertz over. And then after you get that centered where you want it, and you start bumping your way up on the meter again, get a little bit higher frequency. And when you hear that sound start drifting one way or the other, you stop, you create another band for the frequency where it's drifting, and you reduce the sound, reduce the bandwidth, or reduce the amplitude on the side where the sound is towards, to move it back towards center. You do that all the way up to 2000 hertz. Now, while you're in the process of adjusting that EQ to move that sound side to side, if you notice you're at a spot where the overall, when your head's in the center and the overall sound volume of that tone is dropped, although it's also still in the center. So the tone is middle, but the level is down from what it was before and maybe what it is after. On that, you want to pull the amplitude on both sides up the same amount so that you can get the amplitude of that particular pitch up some while keeping the sound in the center position. When you run into a spot where you're getting a dead spot, so I'll show you. You hear that? Right here. See, here it's louder, here it's quieter, it's louder, quieter. When you get that dead spot, that's when you ideally would need what they call an all-pass filter, which allows you to flip the phase of the frequency right below a certain point and then flip it again after the point. And that's a second order all-pass filter. And so your frequency is positive, negative, right? Positive, negative as it moves up, and then when it gets to that frequency where it's buzzing, it flips to negative, positive, and then when it gets past that frequency, it flips back to positive, negative. So you can create, instead of having a dead spot here, you have the strong spot here, dead here, and dead here. When you get done with your first session of setting, run your sweep again and listen for the sound to be in the middle as it goes up and down, and also listen for the amplitude to be drastically different to your ear at different frequencies. You want it to be about the same volume level to your ear at all the frequencies. The next thing you want to do is listen to some music that you're familiar with. Listen for that imaging out in front of you. Listen for any sounds that are coming from up in here and around in here and not right where you're at. You don't want any center sounds to be drifting off left and right. It should all sound right in here. Listen to several songs and relax your ears, because your ears are tired from the last portion of this process.
Okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up.
Now, setting up your time alignment in the beginning isn't always the same. I found that if you set it up to, say, around 200 hertz and time align it in the very beginning at 200 hertz, it helps to center your lower frequencies better overall. And setting it to 1,000 hertz helps to center the higher pitched voices and stuff a little overall better. So it kind of depends on what you're doing, what kind of music you're going to be playing. If you're going to be playing the mellow, slow stuff, then I would recommend going to a lower frequency, 200-300 hertz. If you're going to be playing a lot of, if you're going to be crossing over your mids and highs pretty high and playing a lot of really loud, stuff where you got lots of really loud cymbals and hi-hats and keyboards and all that, then you'd probably want to cross it over, 800 to 1,000, somewhere in that range, to get most of your sound coming from your center image before you start the process of EQing it all in. You'll get different results. Everyone's going to get slightly different results. I'm just giving you the basics for how to center your image in front of yourself. And when you get started doing this, you'll figure out certain things work better for you, and that's all well and good. If you have any constructive criticism on what I'm explaining here, or anything that you've done differently that's worked better for you, or anything that I'm just stone cold wrong about, be sure and put it in the comments, and so everybody can learn from your experience, and I'll learn from it as well. I'm always willing to try different techniques and tricks to tune stuff because I really like doing it. And hit that subscribe button, guys, because, you know, we've got to have subscribers. That's a big deal for us YouTubers, is the subscriber count. So everybody hit it. If I'm doing stuff you enjoy doing, it ain't going to hurt nothing, right? Just one little click. Peace, guys.